Hello and welcome to another episode by the Travel Family Academy. My name is Marae, and today we are going to be talking about how to get work with brands as a creator when you're just starting out. If you're brand new here, we are the Travel Family Academy, an academy made by parents for parents. Our goal is to help families travel more, and so we're dedicated to showing you not just how to travel with kids, but how to actually have the time and money freedom to be able to do that freely. We love being able to be mobile, to work from our phones and computers, and we have found the freedom of being able to either stay home or travel with our kids to be the best gift ever, and we want to share it with you and show you how you can do it as well. Without further ado, let's discuss how to make money with brands as a content creator in 2024. For a lot of you watching this, you may be sitting at home with a brand new baby, wondering what you're gonna do next. Maybe you've already tried, nibbled at things online, but really never really took it seriously. Maybe you're just brand new at the whole thing and you just want to know where to start. So if this is you, you've come to the right place. How to make money as a content creator working with brands in 2024. A lot of you have seen the creator industry. I'm sure you've already heard that there's lots of money to be made as an influencer, but what you may not know is that it's a lot easier than it seems. A lot of people make it seem like you have to have 1 million followers, 25 million years of experience, and gear like they do at the TV station to be able to position yourself as a content creator and make money. But the reality is that it's a lot simpler than that if you know what to do. First of all, I want to validate myself and let you know that I have been working as a full-time content creator for at least 4 years. We started a content creator career in 2019, and we have been living off of content creation and working and partnering with brands since then. Started from the bottom, had no followers, had no idea what we did, and we've spent all the years from then until now learning the whole industry. And what we have learned is that whereas it is true that having a lot of reputation, followers, and experience can definitely help move forward in the industry where you have to pitch to brands and get partnerships, it is not absolutely necessary. And it is a faster route to be really clear on who it is that you want to work with. I think the main mistakes that a lot of creators make is that they jump into this industry with the idea that they want to make money and be an influencer, but not be really clear of who it is they're speaking to, both from the side of their audience and the brands they want to work with. It is a very different type of content, the one you will make when you're, let's say, trying to go viral and getting people to like your account, than it is the one that you will be creating if you're trying to partner with brands. And this, I think, is the biggest issue that is happening since the year 2021 or so. Social media became bigger, it became a lot more popular, a lot more creators jumped on board and started to grow and to see, especially with the introduction of Reels and Shorts, and a lot of people started to see more followers. But this is also the time where we're seeing the most amount of creators that have a lot of followers and are still broke. And now people wonder how come it is that some people can have 2,000 followers and are making a full-on living out of social media, whereas there are some creators that have 100, 200,000 followers and are still getting gifted collaborations. And the difference, my friend, is in the content you create. Now, when you're starting out, it's really important that obviously you know where you're headed. When you begin, you're not going to be an expert. Unless you're somebody who's transitioning from a career in photography and videography, the quality of your work is not going to be there yet. But that's why it's important to know where you're headed so you can know what to concentrate on. If you're concentrating on selling your own products, for example, then you don't have to worry so much about what your content looks like. You have to worry about the message you're sending and that it's clear and speaking to the audience member that's going to be purchasing your product. But if you want to become a creator that wants to work with brands, it's imperative that you understand what the brands that you want to work with are selling and who those brands are. A lot of us think that, oh, okay, I'll just make commercial type content. I'll just post pretty photos. But the reality is that if you are, let's say, connecting with a brand that is big on experiences, right? Like family experiences, like a camping brand that may not be so in tune with like the beautiful aesthetic content, which they can definitely pay to have done for themselves, but they might be really interested in getting some like more raw emotions, more connectivity. Same way, if you are a creator who is, let's say, trying to go viral and grow a big following, you may get viral by posting, let's say, funny reels, right? But if they're all made sort of like a low quality at home videos, brands are going to have a difficult time looking at your content and seeing the potential in their brand or product sticking out in a video that's constantly messy, full of things, not very curated. So social media is a place where people come to hang out and feel like they have their community, right? Like I want to relate to somebody else, right? You have to find that middle ground between who you are as a brand and who you're speaking with, and creating a safe space for the audience member to come and hang out at, but also create content that lets a brand know that you have the ability to create content that translates to that audience, but that is visually appealing, because nobody's going to pay $10,000 for a video that looks like it was filmed with a potato. And so the main thing that I would say is be really clear about who you are creating content for and who you want to work with simultaneously. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that your mom brand is all about including your kids in the kitchen, right? So like you're all about Montessori kitchen, inclusion, having your kids be part of it, have fun in the kitchen, etc. So you know that you're going to be partnering with what kinds of brands, right? So it's probably going to be brands that have like kitchen things, kitchen gear, maybe some food products, right? Stuff like that, utensils, things you will find in the kitchen. And so I would go into their accounts and start getting ideas on what kind of content they're promoting, they're showcasing, they're sharing in their stories, etc. A lot of times the companies will, especially with big companies, they'll be sharing content that is very curated, right? So the content you will see is commercial style videography and photography that you won't be able to recreate at home. But if you look closely at the message they're sending or who they're sending it to, you can get some hints about whether they are geared towards family use or single use or more expert professional use, right? And then you can sort of start discerning which brands you're more likely to be able to work with. And then from there, you can discern amongst that category of brands, which brands have the budget for it. Another mistake I see a lot of creators do is that they fall into this trap of, this category of brands doesn't have the budget. All brands have budget. Marketing is an amazing thing for all brands. It is the one thing that without it, your business will not function. You can have a very successful business for a few years. Eventually, if you do not market that business will not succeed. The biggest brands in the world, the most famous brands in the world, still have marketing budget, still work with creators, still pay money to get their names out there. Nothing lasts forever, and people will forget about your brand. So do not fall into this imposter syndrome voice that's telling you that you're doing X or Y type of content and brands don't want to pay for that. I guarantee you brands will pay for it if your content is good enough and they see the value in your audience and your content. So focus on who it is that you want to work with and create content that speaks to them. I'm going to give a few examples of what that content can look like. For example, let's say that you are a mom brand that focuses on the reality of being a mom, right? So your videos are very home-based, real life, non-curated, it's funny, it's viral, it's relatable, it's for moms to come and laugh at, at the craziness that happens in all of our days. And so your content is obviously not super beautiful, not super curated, not something that any account would like to see. You, let's say, enjoy beauty products. And so you go in your stories and you talk earnestly about beauty products and you make content about that and you start incorporating these products in your reels. Then you find some smaller beauty product brands that like this sort of content. And then you start incorporating real life scenarios where, let's say, you're removing your makeup and your toddler won't let you and you make a funny reel, or you're trying to have some me time and do a mask or something like that, and then your toddler, something happens with them. So you're still doing real life kind of content, relatable, funny content, but you're starting to incorporate brands, right? And then of course you want to get better and more curated content for the brand to show them that you can do that. You can start with small brand or big brands, but if all you do is funny content that shows your house as a mess, you can expect when you have 20, 30,000 followers that a brand that has a beauty brand is going to want to work with you. You have to start incorporating aspects that make a brand want to work. Let's say that you are a content creator that specializes in kids activities and kid things and fun things to do with kids. It's really awesome to do do-it-yourself stuff. People love it. And you could probably go viral and have a lot of moms that follow you. The problem with that is that do-it-yourself games don't really bring much money because you're not buying anything. You're doing it yourself. So then you want to build a sort of a balance between the content that is promoting do it with recycled things in your house and get creative and there's no need to spend money, and look at these awesome products that are worth spending money on because you can use for other things over and over again. Does that make sense? So instead of thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to be doing budget travel, right? Which then companies may not be able to have the budget to do anything budget. You think, okay, I do budget stuff, but then I like to spend money on certain experiences that are worth it. So then you start sort of incorporating the worthiness of things that allows for you to open doors to work with brands. Another thing I would say is that whereas viral reels that are 4 seconds long or 3 seconds long are really awesome for, hooking people and for keeping people watching, for looping and getting views, etc., etc., and for going viral, they're not necessarily showcasing the talent that you have and the ability you have to keep people watching. We find that a lot of times people focus on creating this sort of videos that are really, really fun and make you go viral. But then again, when a brand is going to pay for a video, they don't want to pay for a 4-second video. They want a 30-second video. They want a voiceover video. They want a review video. So you want to make sure that you're always incorporating a variety, right, of content into your platform. So when you then get to the point of pitching to brands, you have something to showcase. Remember that the content you post out there is not just being seen by your friends and relatives and hopefully the people that are in your niche that you're calling to you, your potential new clients, but you also have the entire world watching. So potential brands, potential partners, potential opportunities. And you want to showcase that you're able and capable of stepping up and doing content that people want to pay for. If all you're always doing is promoting, content that looks amateur, then that's what you're gonna get. But with that being said, it is absolutely possible to have 2,000 followers, 1,000 followers, and get 4-5-digit partnerships with brands paid. Because brands are not necessarily looking just for your influence. They do look for that, but they're also looking for your talent. A lot of brands are buying user-generated content. A lot of brands are buying content that they can license to showcase in ads and their stories on their actual feeds. So it's not always about how many people you have in your platform that you can influence, but also the kind of content that you can provide a brand. And by the way, as a general rule of thumb, brands will pay more money for usage rights to be able to use your content as their own, be it for commercial or organic use, than they will for the content itself. Think about this and keep this in mind when you're establishing yourself and starting your career. It may be more challenging at the beginning to create 30-40-second reels that are maybe not getting viewed all the way to the end, that maybe are not getting as much traction, that maybe are not going viral, and that maybe take a little bit more work from you, right? Instead of in terms of setting up and voiceover, editing, etc. But those are the types of content that a brand will later on pay for, because a lot of times the more homemade style videos that will attract more people, go viral, etc., are not going to be the type of content that a brand is going to want to pay for. I hope this was useful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. We'll try to answer in the comments and make videos to help you answer them. Otherwise, come and find us on Instagram at Travel Family Academy. And if you want to read more on the subject, check out the links below, but also check out our blog at travelfamilyacademy.com/blog. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content. There's more to come, and I will see you next week.